Stop explaining yourself, stop apologizing, and for God's sake, stop trying to prove you are a good person. You know that heavy knot in your stomach, that panic when you see a text message from that person. You think that is your conscience speaking. Wake up. That is not a moral compass. That is a leash, and someone else is holding the handle. Guilt is the most sophisticated malware in the human operating system. It bypasses your logic firewall and hacks directly into your empathy. Today, we aren't going to talk about feelings. We are going to deconstruct the mechanics of power. I'm going to show you how to uninstall the guilt button permanently. By the end of this video, you won't just be immune to guilt trips. You will realize that your guilt was never yours to begin with. It was a transaction. Let's analyze the code. First, we have to look at the cost-benefit analysis of your relationships. In the geopolitical world, and yes, your family and office are geopolitical zones, there is no such thing as a free lunch. When a manipulator does something nice for you, they aren't giving a gift. They are making a down payment on your future obedience. Psychologists call this a covered contract. They did X for you, so now you silently owe them Y. But here is the catch. You never signed the contract. Maybe it was that coworker who covered your shift 3 months ago. Maybe it as a parent reminding you of the sacrifices they made in 1998. They leverage past actions to freeze your current assets. Here is the paradigm shift you need if you didn't ask for it. And the terms weren't clear. It is a bad debt. You are not a bad person for defaulting on a loan you never applied for. Treat their guilt trip like a spam email. It's a fraudulent invoice. You don't pay scammers just because they sent you a bill. You delete it. You block it. Stop seeing them as victims. See them as creditors trying to collect on a scam. Once you reframe the relationship from emotional to transactional, the fog lifts. They want you to feel an emotional debt. You respond with a logical audit. I appreciate what you did, but I never agreed to sell my soul for a lasagna. Okay, don't say that out loud, but think it. Now, let's talk tactics. When the guilt trip starts, what is your default setting? You panic, you JADE, you justify, argue, defend, and explain. You send that 3-paragraph text message, explaining why you can't come to the event. You list your reasons like a defendant in court. Big mistake in the court of power. When you explain yourself, you are validating their authority to judge you. You are saying, please, Your Honor, accept my excuse. The most aggressive power move you can make is silence, or absolute minimalism. If they say, I can't believe you're doing this to me, do not offer an excuse. Say, I understand you feel that way, and then stop talking. This is called starving the fire. They want an emotional reaction. That is the fuel. If you give them logic, or anger, or apologies, you are feeding the beast. Become a gray rock, uninteresting, unmovable, unresponsive. In negotiation theory, whoever speaks the most loses. Let them sit in the awkward silence. Let them feel the weight of their own manipulation. Your silence is not passive. It is an active boundary. It signals that your decisions are not up for debate. But what if silence isn't enough? What if they attack your character? What if they call you selfish, cold, or arrogant? Your instinct is to fight back. No, I'm not. Wrong. That is defense. We play offense. We use the mirror strategy. Agree with them. Lean into the accusation. If they say, you are prioritizing work over your family again, look them in the eye and say, you're right. My career is my priority right now. Watch their brain short circuit. Their weapon only works if you are afraid of being the bad guy. Once you accept the label, they have no ammo left. This is the ultimate Machiavellian pivot. It's better to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both, be willing to be the villain in their story, so you can be the hero in yours. When you say yes, I am being selfish, you are essentially saying, your judgment has no value here. It's the ultimate disrespect, and it is incredibly freeing. Do not fear the label. The most successful people in the world are masters at disappointing others. It is the price of admission for a life of freedom. Finally, we reach the nuclear option. The only real power you have in any negotiation is the ability to walk away. A guilt tripper relies on your fear of losing the relationship. They hold the relationship hostage. The only way to win a hostage situation is to show them that you are willing to shoot the hostage. You must train them. It is Pavlovian conditioning. If they manipulate, you withdraw, you leave the room, you end the call, you do not show up for Christmas. This teaches them, access to me is a privilege, not a right. If you abuse the privilege, it is revoked. This only works if you are truly independent. If you need their validation, you are already a slave. Here's the brutal truth: to be free, you have to be willing to be disliked. You have to be willing to be misunderstood by people who benefit from your weakness. Real relationships are based on respect, not debt. The people who truly value you will respect your boundaries. The ones who fade away, that's not a loss. That is a filtration process. Reclaim your mind, cut the strings. The only permission you need is your own. If you're ready to stop being a sheep and start thinking like a strategist, hit that subscribe button. We don't deal in comfort here. We deal in reality. See you in the next one.